Hello. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, Kiki, Shannon, Hannah Marie, Zan. Nice to have you here. Welcome to the 2nd of December, day 2 of this Advent 10-minute portrait sketching series. Yesterday, we did some drawing, day 1, and it was super fun. Also followed up by the first installment of my 4-part workshop, which was really cool. Thank you to everyone who joined the workshop last night. There are 3 more coming up, and you can register for them at dylansara.com. And it was really cool. We spent 2 hours focusing on line and light, and it was really cool. Hi, Gabriela. And also what's been really cool is after yesterday, a lot of you posted your sketches from this live stream, yesterday's live stream, to the Discord server. And I put the link to the Discord server up in the chat. It was really nice seeing people sharing their work there. And yeah, it's exciting just to be able to get in and see your drawings up close, and that's super nice. So something that I really enjoy about Discord is that you can really zoom in, take your time. There's no pinch and pop, and well, you can like zoom in if on your phone, but then it stays there, and you can really look and see the pencil strokes, and it's been really nice checking out your work on Discord. So keep sharing there, and if you would like to join the Discord server, the link is up above in the chat. So hopefully you can still see that, and go over there and join and share your work there. That's been really cool to see. Hi Ike and Luis, Maya. Super cool to have you here. I have so the idea of this series is moving into the darkness as we head towards the light, and yesterday's drawing was very, very light, and just totally focusing on line. This is what I drew yesterday. Hi Elisa, it's great seeing your work in Discord as well. And today we're going to be drawing from this reference photo of Yousuf Karsh, who is an incredible photographer, born in 1908 and photographed almost everyone from 1930, I think, onwards. He had a very prolific career, super influential, photographed on large format glass plates, I think. And my dad introduced me to the work of Yousuf Karsh and said he was a huge inspiration to him, and that in my dad's career as a photographer, he basically spent the whole time kind of trying to emulate what Yousuf Karsh could do so well. A very skillful photographer. There is a link in the description where you can see some of his work, and maybe you'll recognize some of it, and you'll definitely recognize some of the faces, because he photographed a lot of people that a lot of us know. I was thinking, I used this water-soluble pencil yesterday and didn't use its water-soluble nature. So that's what I'm going to do today. And yeah, we have 10 minutes with Yousuf Karsh. And we're just going to start drawing. And it's so cool to see you all here. I'd love to know what you're sketching with. And if and when you post, you can tag me on Instagram, use the hashtag Drawing with Dylan, and there's an official Yousuf Karsh account as well, where you can see some of the amazing photography, and tag them. Maybe they'll see it too. Who knows? Okay, so this will be a 10-minute portrait, day 2, 10-minute portrait 2, and yeah, last night the workshop was really cool, and we focused a lot on line. I'll show some of the drawings after this that I did as we were talking. And there was a question about shadow mapping, because I was doing some shadow mapping, but not doing any hatching and rendering, because I really just wanted to focus on the pure line. And that is a subject we're going to get into in the coming workshop on Sunday, which is dedicated to shading and shadow. And yeah, we'll be moving into darker territory with more more rendering, more shading, and talking a lot more about shadow mapping and how to solve the puzzle of a drawing by using the shapes of light and shadow that we have available. It was really cool. It was a super nice workshop. I had this really cool dream after the workshop, because it was after that it was like pretty late for me, and then I just dreamt of a really nice kind of creative gathering where people were doing magic and making music and drawing and just kind of sharing their skills. I think it was very much a dream directly influenced by the nice creative social time spent together streaming and then in the workshop. That was really cool. Looks like picture's good. You can see this, right? That's good. So thanks so much to those of you who came to the workshop, and anyone who'd like to join the next one on shading and shadow. It'll be on Sunday, and it'll be great, and I'd love to have you there. And you can head to the link, dylansara.com, and tickets are available there. And if you still want to get the 4 workshop package, which we get 4 for 3, even though one of the workshops has already been there is a Zoom recording, so you can still kind of absorb my what I had to say, and still potentially learn something from it, even though it's the workshop has taken place. But otherwise, you can also join individual or the following 3 workshops if that's something that would be of interest to you. Tomorrow's live stream will be about half an hour later than this one, because it's Tuesday tomorrow, which Kiki pointed out to me yesterday. Thank you, Kiki. And every Tuesday at this time, I'm usually hanging out in Zoom and sketching, and you're all welcome to join. The Zoom link is also in the description. I have lots of links in the description. You can come at 7:30 Central European time and sketch in Zoom with us for 2 hours. Live sketching every Tuesday. It is wonderful practice. Anyone who's in the chat who's been to a Tuesday can say how wonderful it is to come and draw with us on Tuesdays, because it's just so cool. It's just a nice way to draw and chat at the same time, and there's lots of kind of surreal storytelling, and we pose for each other, and it's very, very funny and very good practice. Yousuf Karsh is a pretty incredible photographer, and also his story. I was just reading up a bit. He is a survivor of the Armenian genocide under the Ottoman Empire. And I looked it up, and he was born in Diyarbakir, I think it's called, which is a place where friends of mine who are also refugees, Kurdish refugees who live in Germany and are beautiful people. They are also from Diyarbakir. So he was, grew up in Canada. Well, no, I don't know how old he was when he moved to Canada. But so he moved as a refugee to Canada, and then was just an epic photographer. His work is really amazing. There's so much to be learnt by just looking and studying his images. We're about halfway. This is about 5 minutes into the 10 minutes. I'm just gonna take a photo of this because it's looking pretty cool right here, and I'm gonna go into some shading mode. So I've set up these shadow mapping areas throughout in the drawing phase. So this is kind of like the line phase, and now I'm just going to use this pencil to fill in these areas where I know I want the shadow to be, and then I will gently caress the pigment of the graphite with my brush pen, my water brush, which will dissolve the graphite, and I'll be able to brush it around, which will be a nice thing to do. And yeah, the whole region, because I have Kurdish friends from the region. I earlier this year um, listened to Serge Tankian's audiobook where he talks a lot about the Armenian genocide. Um, and so yeah, I've been kind of interested in like the region throughout history, and there have been a lot of shifting borders and different, yeah, a lot of different kind of cultures, and there's such a density of culture and history there, which is quite amazing, and it's pretty hard and tragic that it's just been hit by such violence over such a long course of time. Um, I have met really just such wonderful people from the region, and it's kind of fascinating how wonderful they are. And I have some Turkish friends. I think, and this thing is really interesting. This is something I think about a lot with brainwashing, because I've met beautiful, wonderful Turkish people, and when I talk to them about Kurdish people, they get really angry. And I remember once I visited a friend in Istanbul and asked him about Kurdistan, and he got so angry, and he was like, he whipped out a map, and he's like, look at the map, there is no Kurdistan. I was like, whoa, it's just, I had met a Kurdish guy, I worked with a Kurdish guy in Belgium when I lived there, and he shared his story. I didn't really know anything, coming from my upbringing and coming from Australia. I'd never heard of the Kurdish people, and I have since learnt a lot about them, and have some beautiful friends, beautiful Turkish friends and beautiful Kurdish friends, and it's really interesting to see when certain topics of conversation come up. I've experienced a few times how people switch from their, at least it seems to me, they switch from their loving, open-hearted selves. I've seen people's kind of indoctrination or education kind of coming into play when it comes to such sensitive issues, which is a very kind of ongoing, acute issue, and it's something which for years, and especially over the last more than a year, and it's just like ongoing in so many parts of the world. I think it's this idea of trying to process, like moving through the darkness towards the light. This is something which, in my period of inactivity of not doing so much streaming and stuff, it's just been like, there's been a lot going on in life, but just kind of the greater, in the greater scheme of things, it has just been so heavy, and I've wondered a lot of things, and through my wanderings, I was talking about it last Thursday with Shannon, that I felt like dropping the streaming, which was unplanned, but there were kind of reasons that led to it. I felt like I really enjoy the community aspect of being here and drawing together, and there was a lot less of that, and I was just kind of wondering about the significance of what I do and what we do in the face of so many things which are happening in the world. And just kind of realizing and hearing a lot from a lot of different sources that how community is so important, and that was 10 minutes, but I'm just gonna keep going with the shadow area. Just coming together and focusing on something creative, focusing and being creative and being together, I feel like is a wonderful resource that we have together, being able to draw together, and then it's a special treat to find people like Yousuf Karsh, who we are drawing at the moment, and to learn his story and see his incredible, inspiring, prolific body of work, and the mastery of his skill, and kind of where it took him in the world, and the connection which just came through his creative practice and the act of photography. Super inspiring to see what he did. And that's it. A little bit over 10 minutes. Shattered. Gently hit it. I gently hit it with the water. So here we go. Yousuf Karsh. I recommend that all of you just go spend some time looking at his work, because it's kind of amazing who he photographed, but just the level of mastery in his photography. And the first reference I heard to him from my dad, who was here a couple months ago, that he said that instead of taking 100 photos and choosing the best one, he would spend a day getting to know the subject, and then they would get to it, set up the shot, and then he'd just like take the right shot. And I guess processing film, these big glass plates, it was all a very different game back in those days, and very expensive. And but just the understanding of the camera and light and of the people that he was interacting with, to be able to set it up in a situation where it could just then take a few photos and it was enough, and they're really, really good. Laura says, draw with us on Tuesdays. It is always fun. It is always fun. So that'll be happening tomorrow. And in about 13 minutes tomorrow, we'll be finishing the Zoom session, which means we're going to be drawing here together a little bit later than today. But then for the rest of the week, it'll be the same time as today again for the rest of the week. I will show you some of the drawings that I did yesterday. It was about line and light. This one I really like, which is another one from Don't Smile NYC. And we just had two references, and this is another one I did. These are actually the final references we worked from. And Dan Ruiz, Human the Dan, who was on the thumbnail drawing of this stream, grabbed a really cool photo from Dan and did a couple of drawings from there. And yeah, we were just focusing on line, and it was really cool. I enjoyed it so much. Thank you to everyone who came. And if you would like to, as I mentioned earlier, you can go to dylansara.com and register for the Shading and Shadow workshop, which is coming up on Sunday. Thank you for being here. Please post your work to Instagram, #DrawingWithDylan, tag me, and I'll share to my stories at Yousuf Karsh Official, and the Discord server, which if you go all the way up to the top of the chat, you'll see the Discord server, and you can post your work there, and you'll be able to see it at high resolution, and it's a calm, art-focused place. So these are my first two Advent sketches, and I'm super happy to be here to be able to do this with all of you. Thank you for drawing with me, and I will see you again tomorrow, maybe in Zoom, and definitely here again with another awesome, inspiring reference after Zoom. Thanks, everyone.